Hello, I'm Marco Grossman, and today I'll be talking about the Creole. The Creole was a group of slaves in the 1840s that were able to get their freedom in a very unique and interesting way. And I think we should learn about them because their story is quite unique and they're not very well known, which I think should not be, and I think they should be more well known. So, right here is one of the members of the Creole. His name was Madison Washington. We'll get back to him later. But the Creole was a group of over 120 slaves that was being moved from Richmond, Virginia to New Orleans, Louisiana, because their masters wanted to sell them in New Orleans. And so they were being moved there, and they didn't like it too much, as you might expect. But there was a lot of problems in America in the 1840s, so it would be very difficult for them to exactly get their freedom. This is America in the 1840s. America in the 1840s had a lot of problems, like dealing with taxes and if they should annex it, what's going on with Mexico, and if they're about to go to war, and how they're going to settle Oregon with Britain. So they had a lot of problems, and this actually could have helped the Creole. So this was the ship the Creole were on, and the Creole decided that they weren't just going to be sent to New Orleans, they were going to do something about it. So on November 7th, 1841, the Creole took over the ship and only killed one person, which was one of the slave traders, and injured the captain. So overall, it was actually not very violent. Back to Madison Washington. Madison Washington was one of the members of the Creole, and he's quite interesting. Right here, you can see him helping with the revolt. But he actually started out as a slave, and then he got his freedom and moved to Canada. And after being in Canada for a while, he was kidnapped and sent back to America as a slave. And he was on the ship, and he was actually able to regain his freedom. So once the Creole were able to get their freedom, they wanted to be sent to Liberia, which is a country in West Africa nowadays. But back then, Liberia was controlled by America, and it was pretty much like a place where America could send free slaves if they wanted to be sent back to Africa. So the Creole wanted to be sent there, but the captain and the other people running the ship didn't really want to go there because it was pretty far from America, being in Africa. That's a long distance for them to go. So instead, they were sent to the British West Indies, which is the Bahamas over here, and Jamaica down here. And they were sent there, and they were given their freedom. And Secretary of State at the time, Daniel Webster, when he found out about this, he was not happy. He did not like that these slaves were getting their freedom, and he wanted revenge. But there was really not much he could do since they were already free. So they kind of he didn't really do anything about it. Thank you for listening to me talk, and you have a good day, and I hope you learned something new.